The last symbol that we like to talk about is the symbol button. So the button is add interactivities to the projects. Let's create one. So we lock the previous button that we're using as a movie clip and then create a new layer. On this particular layer, I'm going to use the old tools to make a button. Okay, let's convert this to button. So the type of symbol button, and of course we're going to name this BTN. So we know this is button by look at the name. So the interesting part about the button is right now we are on scene 1 and we want to edit the button, right? We double click on it and then we double click on it. You will see the timeline have 4 different states. The first state is called up. Up is a normal state when you display your projects on your projects. And over, so I'm going to use insert keyframe, right? On over state is the state that when your mouse over or on the top of the button, your cursor going to change to be a finger. And then down state. Okay, I'm going to insert keyframe again. On down state here is going to be the area that you can when you click. So it's going to show what when you click. And then the last one is invisible state. It's called hit. Basically, is the area that you define of the hotspot. So which area you can define as a different shape as a hotspot. So this area is invisible. So it's used for when you roll mouse over and when you click on it. Okay, now let's see what this button is about, right? So now we can see the up state. So it's purple. So on the down state, I like to change this shape into a gradients. Okay, so when I roll over, so I want it to turn to red color. And then, okay, let's see. And then when moving over, so I want to turn it to green. So you can just change the center of your gradient as well. So in this case here, I just go on the top right. Oops, sorry. So this one, I'm going to change to red. Okay. So now you see the normal state, which is up, right? You see a plain symbol, purple color. And then when your mouse over, it's turn red, and when you press your mouse, it's turn to green, something like that. So that is the plan. So now let's test this movie right here. So I can go to control and okay, let me save this project as the button, button button. Now let's test the movie. Go to test. So now you can see the animation on the background, right, which is a movie clip. And now when I roll over, so you can see the cursor change from arrow key to the finger. And then when you click on it, right, it's turned green. And when you release, it's gone, right? So now what I like to point it out, right? I like to point it out. Maybe I'm going to show you some things on this part right here. Let me close this. So I come back to the timeline again, and on the hit spot, this is part I like you to see. So you can see this area is a oval. So instead, I'm going to draw it. Okay, I'm going to draw it with a square. Okay, on the top of it, like that. So that's mean I paint instead of circle. So I got this as a square. Now I'm going to go to control and test movie again. And now you see when I move my cursor, not even in the button yet, right? It's just the area of the square. So the button is already active. It's changing. So when I click on it, so it's like, so that means your hotspot, your hit area, right, is you could define it outside the area of your button visual, your button visually. Okay, so what else I like to try on this one, right? Okay, let's take a look here for a moment. um okay, let's start with this, and then so now we like to show you in additional for the button, you can also import sound files to the library. So in this case here, I use click web. So it will pop up in the library, and then you can drag this wave file to the object that we want to attach. So in this case here, we attach it to down stage. Okay, so now let's test the movie. So you can see when we click on it, right, you will hear the effects right there. Okay, so after that, we go back to the scene right now. Let me save it. So in order, when we make the button, right? So we probably need to interact somehow with this, right? You also can add this to make it look more like a button. So to indicate something like a name on it. So of course, on the timeline, you can add a new layer. So I will lock this current layer and then create a new layer. And on the new layer, right? So I'm going to type something right here. Uh, Use text tool. So I can say main, right? And maybe change the color of that. Okay, right. And then okay, so now I have main. So you can see the main, right? Text will be over there, right there. So now let's go back to the scene one. So on this particular one, right? I have two choice. Now we're going to add some interactive command onto this, right? So how do we do that? We go to window and then we choose um, code snippet, and then you will see that three set of code snippet. The first one is action script, second one is HTML5 canvas, and the third one is WebGL. So the first one, action script, is used for Flash, Adobe Flash. So we do not use that because if we using that, right, we have to start from the beginning, and also it's going to require plugin for that. So and WebGL graphical language, so we do not use that as well. So we stick with HTML5 canvas. So on this, right, after we expand it, so you're going to see like a group of command. So on this particular one, we like to use the command called click to go to web page. So basically the step is you select the button and then you go to click to go to web page. So what you do, you select the button and then you double click it, right? It's going to ask you the selected symbol require instant name, animate views, create an instant name before applying the code. So you just say, okay. So basically the animate will create instant name for you. And when the code popping up, right? So you're going to see from line number 2 to line number 10. Basically, this is the explanation to what is it. And then from line 12 to 15 is the command. In this particular case, it's going to link to worldwidewebadobe.com. So in this case here, I like to go to bu.ac.th. And then comma with blank is going to open a new page. After you finish, you just click OK, or you just close it. And now let me save and then test it again. Okay. So now the test popping up, right? So when you roll mouse to the main button, and then when you click on it, so it's just, call up the new window on the new tab, right? Go to worldwidewebu.ac.th. Uh-huh. Okay, so sometimes you like to not go to hyperlink, so you just want to link to your local file, right? So I like to show you on here, and what you can take a look right here. You can look in the same folder, right? In this case here, we go to Adobe Animate CC. On this folder here, we just have some previous HTML file, such as this particular one is called button.html. So I'm going to call the intro, which is the simple animation, right? So make sure it's in the same folder, right? And of course, I like to remind you, so just use all the lowercase and then no space. If you want to use space bar, use underscore instead. Okay, I copy the name of that, right? And then I come back here and okay, let's check. Uh, okay, this time, right, we do not want to go hyperlink to the website, but instead we want to call up another HTML file on the same folder. So we select the right mouse and then okay, we select that and you will see the action layer on that, right? So you can click right mouse and then select the action. So the command will pop up, right? So instead of http colon slash slash world wide web blah blah blah, so you just replace with your local intro.html file. And instead of open the new tab, right? So we want to open in the same window. So we use cell F F. Okay, cell, and then we close it. Now we save and then we update again. Go to file, test movie. Now, okay. So when you roll mouse, you click. Now it's called up the animation, right? So that's it for three basic symbol in Adobe Animate.